Hey everybody, it's Mike Weller with the Weller Group at Keller Williams Realty. It is November 2023. We're here with our latest edition of Momi's Monthly Mortgage Moment. Hi, Momi.
Hi, Mike. Hi, everybody. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing
Um,
great. Looking forward to Thanksgiving.
kind of shirt you have going there?
Oh, it's a heart.
It's your Valentine's Day shirt.
Well, it's a sweater. It was a little bit cold this morning, and now it's not so cold.
Okay, it's a fun looking shirt. So anyway, um, speaking of hearts, you love that this new program's back, don't you?
I
What
do love,
program are we talking
oh,
about?
great segue.
Yeah,
I do love that
I'm
this
really
new
good at that.
program
Yeah.
is back.
So, mhm.
Yeah. So in September, I announced that the closing cost grant, the grant that goes, is strictly a lender credit towards closing costs, went away. And, I didn't know when it was coming back, but just this week we got an announcement that the lender has more funds, and now we have the $15,000 closing cost credit grant back in play,
Yeah.
strictly towards closing costs and rate buy down. And I love that it's back.
So, what does it look like, the new parameters of this program? Because it's kind of different than it was before, right?
It is.
Okay.
It's a little bit different. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, 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 you go.
I was going to say it's a little bit different. I still have to get confirmation on the income limits as
Hmm.
we were trying to calculate those.
Sure.
But it's no longer based on number of people moving or number of family members moving into the home. That's what
Mhm.
it was based on prior. So, the more
Right,
family members you had, the higher the income that you had to be below. Now
right.
it's just basically 150% of the median family income for the area that you're buying in, and that's based on county, right?
Yes.
But I need confirmation on that. So, and then of course, obviously, the property still has to qualify. It
Right.
has to be in a tract where the minority percentage is 50% or more.
Hmm.
And they
And if
added a new thing.
and
Did
if
you see
people
that, Mike?
and if people want to know that, like, how do I find that out? Reach out to Momi or reach out to me, and we have the
Yeah.
tool that can calculate that
The
pretty
web.
easily.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. The
yes.
website. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to send people to that website because it's confusing. But
It's
did
a,
you see
yeah.
the new little blurb about first generation home buyers, not first time home buyers, but first generation?
Generation, no. Tell me about that.
Okay, so first generation home buyers, meaning the parents have never owned a home before.
Right.
First generation home buyers actually can qualify under a higher income limit.
Okay.
So
Wow.
there's a different
That's
breakdown
great.
for
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. And from what we can tell, and like you said, it is not yet, don't run with this number, everybody, but just to give you an idea, if you're watching and like, well, what are we talking about income limit? It appears to us that the income limit on this for Orange County is about $197,000. So it's pretty
Yeah.
gracious. It's pretty,
Yes.
yeah, it's not super restrictive. It's pretty open. Yeah.
And I mean, don't quote us on that because I was looking at 2023 income limits, and I'm assuming that's what they're using because that's
Right.
what the link led to, but maybe they're
Right.
using 2022 and it might be a little bit lower.
Yes, and this is all brand new and newly, this program is just newly released as we're doing this video. So by the time
Yeah.
you see this, if you're watching at home, depending on when you're watching, Momi may have all of this information by that point. So certainly reach out to her for the latest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
But I mean, it goes hand in hand because you can do a rate buy down, Mike. But what's great is that you and I just talked about it. Rates are actually coming down
they are a little
and they
bit.
will
Yeah,
still continue to come down.
yeah. I hope so. I hope so. What do you
No,
think's
they
going to happen?
will.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I would think at some point they will. Like, I mean, nobody knows for sure, but where we maxed out here, when did we peak on rates? A couple weeks ago, maybe? Last
About a
week?
week ago, a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago,
Okay.
they actually are thinking that we have peaked and now they're
I,
starting to come
it
down.
seems like it. Like, I don't think we're gonna go high into, like, I don't think we're gonna go up to 9% or any, nobody knows for sure, but it doesn't appear that way. So,
Well, I can tell you that I have buyers looking, right?
mhm.
And I was a couple weeks ago when I was searching their rate and they were getting ready to put an offer. I was quoting them on a condo. Now, this is on a condo. somewhere in the eights, right? And this is
Yep.
not, this is with 5% down, right?
Right.
This week, same buyers, condo as well, 5% down still. So all the same parameters as far as like FICO score and everything.
Hmm.
And now we're in the sevens.
Yeah.
And imagine if they do the grant, we might even be in the sixes
Right.
because they can buy the rate down. So, you know, I mean, that kind of gets us to what we were talking about earlier with buyers who say they want to wait till rates come down.
Yeah, which, I think people think like, well, why am I going to buy now? Even if, okay, rates are, yeah, they're under 8 now, I'm getting quoted 7.5, 7.75. I'm
Yeah.
going to wait like until they come down to six and, they go down another point by early next year, next February, March. They're going to come down to, 6.5, 6.75, whatever. The market's going to get that much more competitive when that happens. So, it's kind of one of those cases like, you buy the property for the long term, the mortgage, you could always, I mean, one of the great things about the mortgage is you could always, kind of redo the deal. Like, in other words, like you can get the property now when it's less competitive, and then rates come down, you'll have the opportunity to refinance, and you're not, you're not at risk of not getting the property that you want or having to outbid, you know, 8 or 10 or 12 other buyers. So that's kind of the other side of it. So
And not only 8 or 10 or 12 buyers, but
yeah,
you know, when rates come down, if there's still very little inventory, now you're contending with over asking again.
yeah,
50,000, 150,000, $200,000 over asking. So you're not benefiting yourself, I don't think, by waiting.
right.
It's kind of like the rate today is like a placeholder, right? You get your home, it's a
Hmm.
tax write-off, you
Right.
know, at that higher rate. I mean, I'm not a CPA, nor are you. We can't give tax advice, but you know, you get that tax write-off at the higher rate. You're only really going to make 6 to 8 payments, six to eight
Yeah,
payments. And if you can
yeah.
afford it, 6 to 8 payments, and then you refinance.
Or
You do.
longer. And let's say rates don't come down. Let's say they stay the same or go up. Like,
Yeah,
okay, well then by waiting, what have you gained? You've just waited. And by
zero.
doing it now, at least you've gotten in. Um, yeah, the waiting for rates to come down thing isn't logical. Whereas like other people think like, oh, I'm going to wait for prices to come down. Where I understand the logic behind that. I think it's a flawed logic because timing the real estate market has been proven over and over and over that it is
Mhm.
impossible. So that's not a good idea either. But at least I understand the logic behind it. The waiting for rates to come down, it really isn't logical, like if you dig into it the way we have just now.
Yeah, and I actually have a cost of waiting analysis that I can run. If anybody, you know, says I want to wait, or you know, you and I have a buyer and they say, "Oh, I'm going to wait for rates to come down." There
Yeah,
is a cost to waiting because I mean, this year alone, I think the values are going to increase anywhere from 5 to 8%. They've already shown that. Black Knight's already shown that. Zillow's already shown that.
right.
So, you know, if you continue to wait, you're missing out on all that equity, right?
Yeah, and I think what people are like, some people skeptical people would say is, well, how are prices going to go up 5 or 8% like it's things are very unaffordable right now with mortgage rates and prices the way they are, and I'm not arguing with them at all. Things are not super affordable. They're really not, it's not an affordable real estate market, but the inventory is so low, and unless, I mean, we need so much more inventory than we have right now to change the balance in the market.
Yeah.
um and if you bring interest rates down, that just compounds it. Then there's that much more inventory you're really going to need. So I just don't see, I don't know, I don't see the path to, we've talked about this before, I don't see the path to where all the inventory would come from to change the balance in the real estate market.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. So in a nutshell, we've got that great $15,000 closing cost credit with
Mhm.
rate buy down. So buy now, right?
Yep.
And or at least you try to utilize that closing cost credit and
Yeah.
don't wait, because if you wait, I agree with you, Mike, prices are going to go up and you're contending with so many more people for that one property.
Yeah.
You're
If
gonna
the
get frustrated.
yeah, if the property that you want or the type of property that you want is out there and you can qualify for it and it's um it's doable, then I don't, yeah, the waiting doesn't make a lot of sense for me right now.
I
So
agree with you.
yeah, anyway, okay. What are we going to talk about next month when we're back
Well,
on
it's
here?
gonna be Christmas, so let's hope we're talking about how much further rates have come down.
Okay, we got that.
And, I have some more new programs coming on. We talked about the buy before you sell, right, last week.
Sure. Yeah,
There are I know what we'll talk about, the California Dream for All,
next time.
because it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be released in January, but the guidelines are going to be published in January.
Okay, so we'll be getting close at that point. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, counting on that. Until
Yeah.
then, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
So,
you too, and everybody
yep,
else.
everybody. I was talking to you and everybody out there all at the same time.
I know,
Everybody
I
have
didn't
a
know you
happy
were talking to me.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Sorry.
And so anyway, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you in November. Take care. Reach out to Momi with your mortgage questions. Reach out to me with your real estate questions. Don't reach out to either of us with your complicated tax questions.
No.
No, definitely don't do that. But see you next time. All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.